To answer your question, am I excited? Yeah, I think I am, you know?
I mean, how many years has it been since the last time you released anything? Besides the box set, which doesn't really count.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's the first new stuff for 29 years. So, you know.
That's kind of ludicrous when you think
Yes.
about it.
Well, it is, but it's no more ludicrous than, you know, all the other bunches of old men who are doing exactly the same as we are at the moment, which is, you know, Sacred Reich, and I mean, fucking hell, you know, we're all bucking the trend. Slayer are retiring, and the rest of us are coming back. It's, you know, it's insane.
Yeah.
There's, you know,
the bar is low. Demolition Hammer are like being celebrated. You know, it's like, what the hell?
Well,
Those guys were like super also rans at their height. You know.
That is a very good point, and that is a very good point. I mean, funnily enough, there's a thrash metal group on Facebook, Thrash Metal Album of the Fortnight, I'm just gonna pause you there because I just want to have not pause you, but you're a little bit smaller now. I think it's there's an album on there at the moment that's up for review. Here we go. Let's see what it is. I just want to make sure I get it right. There we go. Mortal Sins, Face of Despair. And you know, it's getting like, you know, really good feedback, and I'm like, it's shit. I mean, it was shit then, it's shit now, it's shitter now. Yeah, like you said, also ran. You know, like also rans. There's hardly anyone that's come back where I'm like, oh fucking hell, you know, awesome. Even Possessed, I'm you know, not a particularly big fan of the album. You know, I like what they've done production wise. They haven't gone down the, you know, the video game metal kind of death metal production. They've retained a bit of an old school production, but it's just, yeah, it just doesn't really do anything for me.
Yeah. I'm half thinking that Chris Adler just retired from Lamb of God so he can join up with Rat Child America. I mean, like, what other reasons could he have? You're like, you want to talk about also rans, you know?
Well, that's a funny you should mention that, because I mentioned it on the podcast. It was like their statement when he left was just kind of like, yeah, cheers, Chris. Yeah. I mean, it was like a fucking small paragraph, wasn't it? It was just like, you know, it was the standard kind of press release you put out when an employee leaves who you're not fucking bothered about. You know, it's just like, yeah, we'd like to place on record our thanks to Chris for all his work while he was here, and we wish him all the best in the future. And then there's this, and then they just go on and on and on about the new guy, and it's like, right, okay, well, I guess Chris is the past and this guy's the future. But yeah, it was kind of weird. It's I don't know, you know, old Dave Blythe. You always expect, you know, I was expecting a little bit more from that particular camp, because he strikes me as somebody who's very sort of he's, you know, very respectful, very intelligent guy, and it just seemed to pay lip service to his time in the band.
Yeah, and well, I bet you it's more like, you know, I could picture him writing a small novel about it and then turning it over to management going, yeah, sorry, Rand, we're not going to do that. we're gonna put out this paragraph. You know?
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Money involved.
But yeah, I mean, it just sucks basically. But well, actually, it doesn't suck. Who cares? It's only Lamb of God.
Well, it just always sucks when, like, I mean, how long was he there? Like 20 years or so. I mean, He was busy while you were doing nothing. You know, that's a long time.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. I mean, it's like he's the guy. You know, he's the guy that's been there since forever. And it was a bit weird. But then again, you know, here we are happily discussing a band who I don't think either of us are particularly bothered about.
I do like Lamb of God, so yeah,
oh, really?
It's all good.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
I respect them a lot, yeah.
Fair enough. But so I am, to answer your question, yes, I am excited. I'm really keen for people to hear the album, because I've I'm very, very quietly confident, and to see the reaction that the first single got has made me think, right, okay, yeah, I'm right to be as confident as I am. That was not... And don't get me wrong, I hate to say this, it'll sound arrogant, so it doesn't matter, but I kind of expected that feedback, but I didn't expect the... just basically it to be like 99.9% positive. I expected there to be, a few more, but it just, trawling through all of the comments or across all platforms, it's just universally been, welcomed with open arms. So it's glad to know that it's good to know that I'm not insane, and that it is as good as I thought it was. So, but yeah, it is, we're getting...
What a journey from like those first episodes of Talking Bollocks where you were like, yeah, nope, that'll never happen. That's long gone, but I'm doing this thing. And then you would talk about, maybe I'll put out a box set, but I'm never going to stream it. It's never going to be on the stream, never going to be on Spotify.
Yeah.
And it's just, these years later, and what a journey it's been. I mean, for all your listeners, we've all listened to your journey now in almost real time for 7 years? 8 years?
It's not that long. I think the podcast's been going 5 years, I think.
Is that right?
Yeah.
No, you started before I moved to Ireland.
Yeah. Well, that was 5 years ago.
Huh.
Because we came back in 2015, so that's actually 4 years ago.
Okay.
So yeah, but
okay.
So it's exciting. I mean, to be honest, there's more. We've had probably more controversy and I don't know, trolling over the album title and the cover more than anything else.
Why is that?
Because a number of people have taken it as it's basically the album is going to be a load of old men complaining about millennials. And
well, all right, but what else?
yeah, I know, but the thing is, what makes me laugh is like, well, don't you think it's a bit entitled for you to think that it's all about you? Because it fucking isn't. There's one song on the album called New Age Narcissist, and it's about narcissist dicks online. And the whole point of it's the age of entitlement, not the age of people who are entitled. It's and you, me, it doesn't matter how old you are, you can be capable of entitled behaviour. Just look at our fucking look at our Facebook page the minute we announce tour dates, and people saying, why aren't you playing My Town? And these people are in their 40s and 50s. It's so it just cracks me up that these people think, like, literally a couple of Facebook groups like started trolling the site and calling us boomers. Which exactly, it means something to you, it means nothing to anybody over here, and it's like boomers, and I'm like, oh, fine. I mean, we're not, but if that makes you feel better, coming onto our webpage and coming onto our Facebook page and calling us boomers, then that's great. And they're all, and there's we live in a society seems to be we keep getting a lot of that, and I saw somebody online absolutely hammering the band and the album that is not released yet. They've basically taken the album cover, they've taken the title, they've extrapolated from there, come up with their own amazing theories, and yeah, I would imagine what they're going to do is they're probably going to get the lyrics, or because some of them are saying they can't wait to see what a car crash of an album it's going to be, and I'm like, well, Fuck you, fine. I mean, feel free, as long as you're listening, as long as you're saying Acid Rain, as long as you're telling people about it, as long as you're expressing an opinion, then good. But like I said, I think it's incredibly entitled for millennials to think it's all about them, which
I think it's
delicious irony.
Well, it's fun to think that finally metal's upsetting people.
Yeah. Well, finally we're upsetting people because we don't normally upset people. We're usually like the friendly bunch, but clearly, some people have got the hump with us. So but fuck them, whatever. I mean, and I was really pleased as well. The reaction the single got. I was really pleased. For the company that made the video got so much props, and also I was really pleased that the people were taking notice of the production and going, right, yeah, that sounds fucking great, and because it is, well, you've heard the album, it is a departure from your standard Pro Tool to fuck kind of production, so
yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah, I know it, and it sounds great. It's a great album. I can't wait for people to hear it too.
Oh, cool.
I think I wrote to you right after you sent it, and I said it's one of those rare albums that is true to what it done, to the audience, but still isn't a retread.
Yeah.
You definitely have new ideas, and people who are new to the band are going, and because most people weren't born before the band broke up, they're going to be like, no, who the hell is this? It's Power Trip, that style of that. It's a new take on the genre, so it's fantastic while still staying true to what it's done, sort of like the way that Surgical Steel did for Carcass.
Cool, man. Wow. Well, I know how much you like that album, so thank you very much.
Yeah, and it's just, you can count on one hand the number of bands who are able to thread that needle. So it's, I mean, you had 29 years to get it right. So I'm glad you did.
well, thank you very much, mate. Yeah, I've waited 29 years to put some decent vocals on a fucking album, if I'm honest. But
no, are there any ideas on this album that in the 5 years or 10 years or 15 years after Acid Rain stopped, that you might have had, while, sitting on the toilet or in the shower, that you just said, I'll just put that in my pocket, and then just been waiting to pull it out?
No. It's all, it all came about. It's all inspired by the music, invariably, the music comes first, the vocals, lyrics, etc. I then kind of match up to that. Some of it was the New Low, funnily enough, was fucking weird because we did a whole week of writing in the in our rehearsal space, where we had the meat of some songs and others we were and others where it was just riffs and we were piecing it together. And the day that we wrote the New Low was the first day in the studio, and which was a Saturday. And I wrote the lyrics. I wrote the lyrics on Saturday morning. No, the first day was Sunday, and I wrote the lyrics on the Saturday morning. And the following day, we started work on that song, and I was like, "Wow, I wrote the lyrics for this yesterday. I've got the lyrics for this tune. It's done." It's
cool. Yeah.
And it's just. And funnily enough, when as soon as we finished it, I turned around to the rest of the band and I went, "Well, that's the first single." And really? It was like, yeah, absolutely. That's the first single. No solo, catchy chorus, good midsection, shouty vocals. It's fast. It's got all the ingredients. That's your lead single right there. We're not going to write anything better that encapsulates what the album's about and everything else, and we just kind of stuck to it, right from the word go, just stuck to it. Always said that will be the one, and it's it's just bizarre, really. It's come together so well, and Jace's production is it's the icing on the cake for me, because I think I think if it didn't sound as good as it does, then you're gonna lose people, and that's what I think it was very brave of Power Trip to go for a more 80s shit production. Well, it certainly put me off. Do you know what I mean? Because I listened to that and I'm like, I'm really glad albums don't sound like this anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, if I was buying this in the 80s, I would have been loving it. But it's like 2019, and as Gene Hoglan always says, why wouldn't you use technology that's there to help you?
Well, I go both ways on it. I think that there is a place for nostalgia, and there is a place for paying a certain amount of tribute to, and letting people know where it is that you're coming from or whatever. But sometimes with production, it'd be great if you just put out two versions, do a remaster now. You know what I mean?
But isn't that manufactured nostalgia? I guess not. I mean, look, if you want to go in the studio and record and for it to sound a bit shitty, then that's entirely up to you. And again, I mean, people might hear our album and go like, well, I think he's talking a load of shit. I mean, they'd be wrong, but everybody will have their opinion on it. I mean, funnily enough, I was talking with Paul, our guitarist, and I said, he said, I haven't listened to the album for a while. And I was like, dude, listen to the album. Yeah. Listen to it. Make the most of this time, because on the 27th of September, it leaves home. Yeah. And it will never be the same again. Yeah. You will listen, you'll hear the odd song and you'll be reminded of some stupid fucking comment that you read somewhere. And, the album is clean at the moment. It's pure. It's untouched by everybody else's opinion, so we're really making the most of this, of our last few weeks together, because it's only a matter of time before, it leaves home, and, it'll never be the same again.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's funny, like, it makes me think of, like, what was that Metallica album that they did with Lou Reed? It was like, they were loving it. Kirk Hammett is like, I made me cry, the whole thing. You guys got enough money. Why don't you just keep that to yourselves forever?
Yes.
Because it probably ruined for them, too, Like, they loved it. They should have kept it.
Well, funnily enough, it's virtually impossible to get hold of a copy of that now. And
I can't find it anywhere.
Yeah, and it's getting real. It's a Metallica rarity now. And of course, Lou Reed went and died, making all of those albums worth a lot more.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go down the old. We make music for ourselves, and if anyone likes it, if anyone else likes it, it's a bonus. Fuck all that. I mean, if no one else likes it, you're fucked. So, that does not work for me. Unless you want to be doing gigs to 20 people, then, that philosophy is bullshit. But without a doubt, I think, I was saying to somebody the other day, it was like, it ticks all the boxes. It's got everything that, I hate to come across as all Lars Ulrich, but being an Acid Rain fan myself, it's got everything that I would want from an Acid Rain album. It's got lots of speed. It's got lots of shouty backing vocals. It's got lots of catchy choruses. There's a song about a horror film. There's a fucked up cover version. There's short songs. There's long songs. I mean, it ticks all the boxes,
How calculated is that?
It just fucking happened. It's just ended up like that. Yeah, well, I mean, apart from, actually, probably the only thing that's really genuinely kind of manufactured would be Within the Woods. Oh shit, I've given the song title away. Never mind. Fuck knows when this is coming out anyway, you know what I mean? that was Paul and I knocked around the idea of doing a song about a movie, and he was like, "Oh, should we put one on there?" And I was like, "Yeah, it might be quite nice," but nothing ever. I was said, well, maybe we should update. Maybe we should do it about a TV show now. Seeing as how TV is better than movies these days, so maybe we should go down that route. And I toyed with the idea of doing a song about Breaking Bad, about Deadwood. I mean, these sound so lame now.
Why are you not being lame? Those are classics.
Yeah,
certainly Breaking Bad.
Yeah, well, yeah, but then I kind of, I can't remember what it was. But for some reason, I don't know. I think I thought about the Evil Dead or something. I can't remember why, but I was just I was researching the movie, and there was on Wikipedia. It says that Sam Raimi made a short film called Within the Woods and took it round all the local businesses and had them watch it and was basically saying, look, will you help me finance to make this into a movie, a proper movie? And I just straight away thought Within the Woods, right? Okay, so there's going to be a song about horror film on the new album. It's going to be about the Evil Dead, and it's going to be called Within the Woods, and that was it. That was done and dusted. As soon as I saw Within the Woods, I was like, oh man, that's the song title. That's just,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm having that. Thank you very much, Sam. I'm having that. And
it's a better song title than Spider-Man 2. So yeah.
Well, yeah, and a better movie as well. But yeah, so and so from that point, it was just kind of like, right, I know what I'm doing. Told Paul about it, and he was like, "Cool." He loves the Evil Dead. We all love the Evil Dead. And then it came together. The intro, the demo version of the song is slightly different. It hasn't got all of the trees at the beginning and all the trees at the end, and they are tree. That's just wind rustling through trees. It's not rain. We're not Black Sabbath. And amazingly. About 3 weeks after we recorded, after we left the studio, Jace was at the studio, and there's lots of trees around the studio, around the car park, and he went out and recorded a wild track, with a mic, to record those trees. Those trees are, it's not from any sound effects vault or anything like that, and he recorded them all. And about 3 weeks after he did that, the tree he recorded got blown down in a storm. It's not there anymore.
Yeah.
So it's cursed. That's it. It was.
Now, when you come out of the studio and you're in this phase, are you sort of exhausted of the process of writing and recording, or are you energized now? And do we already start thinking about Acid Rain 2020's recording and 2021? That sort of thing.
Well, if you're me, no. If you're Paul, yes. But to be honest, it's first album 29 years. I'm a big believer. I've said it before. I'll say it again. In fact, I think I even say it in the new low. Take care of the minutes and all of the time. Look after today, and tomorrow will take care of itself. Eyes on the prize. Yeah. Eyes on the ball. If the ball's at your feet, have your eyes on the fucking ball. Do not be looking at the horizon. Take your foot off. Take your eyes off the ball. Look back. It's not there anymore. You've always got to be in the present. And I think it's also, I'm a big fan of achievable horizons. There's no point in constantly aiming for the horizon, because as we all know, you'll never get there. Achievable goals, one step at a time. Walk towards one when you've got that right. Okay, so it's just literally one thing at a time. So I'm absolutely, completely focused on the release of this album. I've tried to speak to as many people in the label, here, abroad, all around the world, basically, emailing everybody from every territory saying, guys, I'm here if you need me, whatever you want, whenever you want it. You just have to email me direct. Don't worry, don't go via the label, whatever. speak to me, email me, here are my details, whatever you need, whenever you need it, you tell me. And making sure that, emailing out thanks to everybody on all the territories for, the reaction to the single and all the press we've been getting, and, just really trying to make everybody at the label and all the territories feel involved and part of something, unique. And it's not just another fucking band releasing another fucking album, and do you know what I mean? Just being, just part of the machine. It's like, no, I want everybody to be as involved in this and invested in this as I am. They're not going to be, because they're not me, but I'd at least like them to see, when they see another press release for Acid Rain's got to go out, or there's opportunities to get interviews that they think, oh yeah, cool, no, Acid Rain's ideal for that, or oh no, I know H will do that, and just basically ingratiating myself with as many people as possible so they have a positive image of the band and think, yay, they're cool, I want to do stuff for them, I want to do right by them,
Yeah.
And I mean, it's...
So do you wish you'd done that sort of stuff 30 years ago? Like the first time around, do you wish you knew that sort of stuff that happens behind the scenes?
I did.
You did know it?
Oh yeah, I did, and I did all of this 30 years ago. Don't ask me.
Awesome.
Don't ask me how I fucking knew. I just honestly don't know how. I just knew. I mean, since we've come back, I've always known. I've always had a plan. Always had a plan. And at every stage, it's just, every box is ticked. I mean, when we pretty much got booked for Bloodstock for 2016 at Bloodstock 2015, because I was there, and and conversations were had, and I remember when I was driving away from the festival, I rang Paul and I said, that will be when we premiere Thoughtful Sleep. That's when we bring that tune back. That's the ideal setting. 1 year later, it happens, because I don't know, sometimes, like I said, I just see things really clearly sometimes, and it's just like, you're doing Bloodstock next year, right? Well, that's when we bring out Thoughtful Sleep the first time in 25 years. Then it's kind of like, well, duh. It's just, I mean, it's the same with getting the band signed all those years ago. It just seemed really very, very simple to me. Spend half your money in recording, spend half of it on packaging. Send it to every single record label that you've got a thrash album by, and then and then just fucking batter them until they sign you. So, I just think.
So what's the?
Go on.
I mean, you had just said that you're not looking into the horizon. You got to be in the present, right?
Yeah.
But what is the plan from here?
Well, you see, that's kind of the frustrating part, because we're now in a place where it's kind of out of our hands, because a lot depends on how the album's received, and who hears it, and how it's received, and just all of that, really. So it is. It's weird, because for the first time since we've come back, it's kind of out of my hands, really. Because some festivals will have you on and some won't, and some would love to have you on and will offer you a really great spot, and the fee will be nothing.
Yep.
And you're like, right, and they just say, well, do you want to play to 50,000 people or not? And you're like, yeah, but we've got to get there, and we don't give a shit. So, and there's a lot of bands out there, I mean, first album for 29 years and all the rest of it, and I'm excited, and and it's all special and all the rest of it, but we're just another fucking band to a lot of promoters, a lot of festivals, a lot of heavy metal cruises and all the rest of it. It's like, well, it's. We just gotta. All we can do is with the opportunities that we do get, smash them out of the park, and make sure that we get more. You know, I mean, my philosophy is always that when you play a gig, you're playing 2 gigs. You know, because you play a gig, you've got to smash that for 2 reasons. One, so everyone goes away and goes, that was brilliant, and obviously you want to have a good time as well. But secondly, so the promoter goes, right, I'll have them back. You know, and also, so everybody in the crowd goes, that was awesome. I'm always, you know, when they come around next, I'm going to see them again. And that's also why we've got a few surprises up our sleeves for the tour as well. Because I just think it's really important that, I mean, every time we've gone out, you know, we went out on tour, first time, you know, when we came back in 2015, but we had a new single out. When we did a headline tour, we had another new single out. You know, we're always trying to do something, bring an old song back, you know, there's always a reason. So, and my thinking behind that is that people always know that there's going to be something different. They always know that we're going to be value for money, and that we're going to put every ounce of effort into the gig. And, you know, whether it's merch, whether it's the set list, whatever it is, we will do something different. And I think it's really important, because ultimately what you're doing is you are putting in the minds of people. They've got 3 gigs that month. They've got Testament. There's potentially Testament. There's potentially Acid Rain, and there's potentially fucking Devin Townsend, let's say. And they're going to look at that and go, well, do you know what? One of those has got to go, but it's not going to be Acid Rain. I've really got to go, because I don't want to miss out, because there will be, if I don't go, I'll regret it. You know, because I'll miss out. I'll hear that they've played this old song that they haven't played for how many years, or they played these songs off the new album, or do you know what I mean? You've got, because you're just, every time you announce dates, you're toe to toe, head to head with a load of other bands, and you've got to put the effort in. You know, you have to put the effort in and give these people the kind of experience where they go, you know, whenever they come round, I'm going, no matter what. You know,
it sounds like you're pretty competitive about it. Like, it's like, no, I'm going to put on a better show than Devin Townsend, and I'm going to put on a better show than Testament, and you know what I mean? And I suspect that's as long as you're doing it in a healthy way, that's a healthy way to approach that sort of capitalist, approach to touring, you know?
Well, I hadn't really thought about it like that, and to be honest, I don't see it as I've got to put a better show on than Devin Townsend, or I've got to put a better show on than Testament, because ultimately, it you know, inverted commas, better. What the fuck's that? You know, everybody's perception is different. And I'm not kind of thinking, right, you know, it's funny you should say that. Yeah, it does sound competitive. But I'm completely focused on my band. So as opposed to, like, I want to be better than them, or I'm just completely focused on us and what we do, and making sure that what we do is as good as possible. And we've thought of everything, and we've covered every base. You know, yes, you can now pay by card. For merch at an Acid Rain show, which you haven't been able to anymore. You can also pay contactless. Yes, you know, it's just, you know, those little things. I've said this before. I'll say it again. The Samurai have a phrase. The Samurai way is all about. They say little things should be treated with great care, and big things should be treated very lightly. And I think that's absolutely right. In other words, you pay attention to the very small details, and you're all over that shit. But also, if something is big and a massive problem and scary or whatever, you need to treat it lightly, because otherwise you'll be panicking. You'll be shitting yourself, and you'll be full of stress. You need to be sat back, chilled, and going, okay, cool, big issue, but let's deal with it, no problem. Whereas something like being able to, you know, buy shirts with contactless payments, they're small details, but it's the little things that are important. You know, it's those little bits, and again, it's the little bits of detail in in, you know, the merch that we'll put together, in the set list, which people are going to fucking love as well, because the set list is going to be all over the place. And, you know, we've got 4 dates booked, and we're probably going to do a different set every night. So I can't wait for people to start sharing on social media our set lists. Fuck you. You've got no idea.
Yeah.
No idea what we're going to be playing. None whatsoever. And we don't know. I don't know. So fuck it, you know?
So, all right, assuming that, like, release day happens and there is momentum, the label's like, you know, things are happening now, guys. What does that look like in your mind, as far as, like, what would that momentum amount to that would get you excited?
Just if they're just saying, look, get on the road, get cracking. We've got to get some, we've got to get you out there. And also our agent as well. If our live agent is saying, guys, I need to get you out there. This is seriously happening, and we're getting offered really good festivals and stuff like that. Then, for me, yeah, I want to ride this thing until the wheels come off. That's my goal. This is a second chance that not only did I never dream of, I never dreamt about the dream. It was never the plan. It was never the plan. So for this to just, for this to happen, then yeah, I'm gonna absolutely, throttle it to death. It's. Are
there particular festivals or particular markets that you are like, okay, this tells me things. This is what the momentum looks like.
Well, funnily enough, I was going through our social media the other day, and I was doing it with the guy from the label as well, who's now an editor on our Facebook, and the 3 top cities that Acid Rain have followers. Number 1, no surprise, London. Number 2, Mexico City. Number 3, Bogota. Number 4, Buenos Aires. I was like, wow, this is fucking really cool. I was like, now I know why we keep getting approached for South American dates.
Oh yeah.
So I'd love to.
Oh, that's cool.
I'd love to go to South America. The Russian distributor is Russia and South America are both doing a cassette. The Russian distributor is having the entire album. They are, rather than taking pre-produced product, they're doing a native release. The whole album will be in Cyrillic, which I've got to see. That's going to be fucking amazing. So it'll be in CD, vinyl, and cassette from Russia, all in Cyrillic. South America, they're doing a native release as well. So and the States, North America is doing a native release as well. So they're all basically repackaging. Yeah, well, basically just producing it for their own territory in their own way. So it's a digipack in the UK and Europe. I think it's going to be a jewel case in North America, complete with a sticker with a quote from me, and also a quote from none other than Padge of Bullet for My Valentine.
Oh, interesting.
Saying acid rain of updated and created a mosh pit masterpiece.
Very cool.
Official quote. Official quote.
Well, it's funny because your favorite band and mine, Kiss, back in the 80s, when Gene Simmons, this is a true story, Gene Simmons had squandered all his money on Diana Ross, and Ace Frehley squandered all his money building a studio in Long Island. They were, and all of Peter's money had gone up his nose. They couldn't play the U.S. anymore. They couldn't play Europe anymore. They had been resisting going to South America. South America promoter came back and said, I'll give you, and it was millions to come down here. And they went down and they did a South American tour that, for Kiss fans, is somewhat legendary, but the truth was a mortgage was coming due. That was why they went to South America, you know?
Well, I mean, like most of the decisions made in Kiss's entire career, you know, the finances dictated it.
But I mean, it would be cool. I mean, how cool would it be to take Acid Rain on tour in South America?
Oh man, look, South America, North America, you know, Japan, Russia, you name it. You know, I'm cool. I'll go anywhere.
Yeah, and it's released in Japan.
Have you turned your camera off, by the way?
I did, yes, because it was saying the poor connection, so I wanted to make sure the audio is still sounding
okay,
good.
cool. Well, I'll turn mine off as well because then we'll save some bandwidth.
Yeah, but yeah, you're going to get released in Japan.
Oh yeah. It's well, yeah. It's a worldwide release. I mean, Dissonance Productions that we're on is part of Plastic Head, which is the second largest music distributor in the UK. They distribute direct in Japan, so actually it's literally like, you know, the UK office puts physical product into Japanese record shops. Simple as that.
Very cool.
Yeah, no, it's very cool, and the I mean, Moshkinstein, The Fear, and Obnoxious were all released in Japan. I think Obnoxious was on Pony Canyon, and then Moshkinstein was on Pony Canyon, and then the other two were on Sony. So, you know, we're up. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to use the phrase, but back in the day, I think we were quite big in Japan.
So you got to get back.
I know, it's fucking ridiculous, isn't it? But yeah, no, it'd be cool to get out there. We'll go anywhere as far as I'm concerned. We will go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it should be cool. I mean, you know, it's going to be really interesting to see what offers. But to be honest, you know what? Again, going back to that, you know, one step at a time. At the moment, I'm just focused on making sure that we get, we get the release right. That I'm available to do as many interviews as possible, and we'll take it from there.
Excellent.
You know, it's awesome. But speaking of fucking hell, we haven't covered any of the topics we were going to. By the way, this is now going to be Godless interviews H about Acid Rain. I think we'll do a little special. And
well, it's interesting because it's like, you know, I mean, for you it's 29 years in the making, but for me being coming to Acid Rain through Talking Bollocks, it's still, you know, over 5 years in the making. You know, it's however many years you've been doing Talking Bollocks, so it's real interesting. Right now is super interesting as to what's happening and what might happen going forward. You know.
Yeah, I know. I absolutely, and I mean, you know, to a certain extent, I feel the same. You know, it's very much a case of wow, I can't. You know, I got a test pressing of the vinyl, yeah, that was really weird. Putting an album on. You know, putting a slab of vinyl on, putting the needle on it, and it's the new Acid Rain album. It was like, what the fuck? You know, I'm just I'm like, wow, this is just weird. I know it's gonna be a real moment holding that physical product in my hand, and you know, kind of like, wow, this is actually. You know, this is real now. This is actually physically exists, and it's all being produced as we speak. Everything's off at the production plant, and it's all being put together. So it really is going to happen. You know, we've made a video, we've put a single out. Albums next, and then there'll be another single in November as well. And
when do you think that like the touring to support it will really kick in? I mean, I know you've got like a date not in September, a date in October, a couple dates in December.
Yeah.
Is there? I mean, would it be 2020 or would it be before the end of the year?
Yeah, part one is in December. Part two, we're booking at the moment. And again, I mean, at the moment it's just the UK. Europe needs a lot more thought putting into it, and it's certainly not something we can go out and headline. We need to be going out there in some sort of package, and whether that is with, well, it could be like, a UK thrash assault, and it's kind of like, us, Zentrix, Gamma Bomb, whatever. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here. These are, nothing has been discussed with anyone, so we just have to wait and see, and again, it might be based around festivals. You see, the thing is, again, like I said, it is about how the album is received. So, we can dictate terms in the UK, but we can't really do that anywhere else. So it's very much a case of seeing how the album goes down, and seeing, what offers come our way. I mean, I'd love to do a support tour. I'd love to do a tour supporting somebody, and I just get reaching more audiences, and reaching new audiences. So we'll just have to wait and see. It is really, like I said, it's you can only plan so far, and then as to where we go from after the UK dates. At the moment, I don't know. It really is just a case of waiting to see how the album goes down.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's it's kind of funny as well. The album coming out. There's a free patch with the first 250 vinyl and with the first 250 CDs. But that's worldwide. So it's going to be interesting to see who doesn't get their patch straight away. People, anything for a moan, people will be moaning straight away. Oh, where's my fucking patch? It's like, well, it's a limited edition, and clearly the edition you bought didn't have one.
Yeah. So, are you doing like those really cool, package bundles? Merch bundle?
No. What we've got basically there's two vinyl up to buy. There's the limited edition cyan vinyl. There's the normal black vinyl. There is a CD digipack. You can stream the album. Also, you can. There's two T-shirts. There's a T-shirt of the album cover, and there's a T-shirt for the song "Ripped Apart" as well. And so you go on there. And it's like, right, okay, what do you want? You can pick up a CD, you can pick up an album, you can pick up a T-shirt, but it's just all there, and go for it. I asked the label about bundles, and it was just like, nah, we don't do bundles. We fucking hate bundles.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. And
I'm shocked to hear that.
Well, when they explained why, I completely got it, and it's purely from a label business standpoint.
Okay.
So basically, I get it. I absolutely get it. And also, it's kind of like, well, how hard is it to put two things in your fucking shopping basket? There's the T-shirt, there's the album. If you click on each of those, bingo, you got yourself a fucking bundle.
I know, but there's something special about like clicking one button, have a box show up that's special, that it's got a whole bunch of stuff that other people didn't get, and that's what makes me a mega fan.
First album for 29 years. If that ain't special enough for you, suck my dick. Yeah. You can come round my house. You can come round my house, and I'll give you special.
Well, I mean, you already sort of talked about it. You got the 250 patches, right? So,
yeah, exactly.
That's an exclusive.
Yeah, no, and
if I've got that on my vest or my jacket, or whatever it is.
Well, that was definitely something that I wanted to do because we've always had people going on about acid rain patches. Oh, they want a patch, and it was like, right, okay, let's give them what they want. We'll do a limited edition patch. And we sold we had some patches of the Fear album cover, and I mean they flew out. We had about 200 of them, and they flew out. And so yeah, I mean we'll probably be looking at putting some patches together as well, merch wise. So yeah, it's going to be there's a lot to put together, really.
There's something cool about, from a pure, let's go back to being a capitalist, right? Like, the only way that you get this really cool exclusive shirt that we would feel uncomfortable about charging $35 for is you have to buy these two other things in this bundle that you probably already got or that you really don't really want, but now it's $65 for the whole bundle instead of $35 for the shirt. But that's the only way you're going to get that shirt. That's kind of a fun thing to do from a pure money point of view.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I'm all about just having cool merch, and that's the main thing. I mean, at the moment the merch the label is doing is the label's merch. It's nothing to do with us. Literally in every single way, it's nothing to do with us. I mean, don't get me wrong. We gave them the designs, but after that, that's the end of that.
You're just trying to recoup at that point.
I'll explain that a little bit more off air. That's more of an off air conversation.
Okay.
It's more about it's more about the nature of our contract with the label, and that's not really something I want to discuss in public.
You were on such a roll, but I thought I'd catch you off guard. You forget we hit record.
No chance, mate. No chance. So yeah, I mean, we need to get our Bandcamp store back with some really cool stuff in it. We need to be, taking some really cool merch on tour, and just hitting people with, really, really cool ideas and stuff. So, we did the beanies towards the end of last year, which went down really well. I think it's very much a case of just giving people what they want. Patches, hoodies, t-shirts. Basically anything we can. But again, things like hoodies are they're a major pain in the ass because they cost more money. You can't get as many in a box. They take up a whole load of fucking room. It's little things like that at our level can make the difference between whether we actually produce them or not.
Right.
So it's a real pain in the arse, basically. But one thing that we have been doing recently, and that we'll probably continue to do, is we do A3 kind of cardboard posters. They're really good quality posters, so you can frame them, and we will all we'll all sign them as well. So it's almost we only charge £5 for them. And it's, if you haven't got much money, at least you can maybe, if you can't afford £5, then don't be buying a fucking drink, that's for sure. Which was hilarious. Last time we played Manchester, the guy come up going, "Oh, your t-shirts are £20." I was like, "Yeah," and he goes, "Well, they always used to be 15." I was like, "Yeah, we've had to move with the times, mate. We got to keep fucking this band financed, or it doesn't happen." "Oh, fuck, I haven't got any money. I said, "Okay, look, tell you what. £15 for you, fair enough." And he goes, "Oh, you're a mate, cheers, blah." And then our merch guy turns around and tells me, "I've seen him, he's on his 4th pint."
Yeah.
And those beers are fucking £4.50 a shot. It's like, yeah, point taken. But anyway, yeah, so even if people don't have much money, they can at least get a poster and we'll sign it, and they've got a memento of the evening. And or ideally, you know, we're at the merch stall signing the posters, and they decide to get a T-shirt while they're there. You know, oh dear me, how did that happen? What a nice accident. So yeah, you know, it's merch is such a big part of being in a band now. You know, essentially, lots of people have said it. I'm not the first to say it. You know, we're all T-shirt sellers now. That's basically it.
Yeah,
you know,
yep.
That's where the money is.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we got to do. Then that's what we got to do. But I like it. You know, I love hashing out new T-shirts and stuff like that. I think it's awesome. It's great fun. We've got some really cool designs that we're working on. I mean, the people are loving the new one that the label have got, the ripped apart shirt. We've like amazing feedback on that as well. So it's really, yeah, it's been really cool. And that's just another aspect of a new album coming out that, you know, we've got to think of and make sure that we get sorted.
Would you make you know, I was just thinking just recently because you know, I've moved and, you know, I have an opportunity because my wife is not here with me yet, and she won't be for a few months, that when I get into my place, I can decorate it however I want, right? So first thing I think is like, oh my God, I can choose any shower curtain that I want. Like, what if there is an acid rain shower curtain? Like, there's salt and pepper shakers. I mean, there's so much crap that you can throw a logo on that people never sell at the merch booth, and I never understand why. Like, why not?
Well, it's you see, that's very interesting, you see, because you're either thinking, oh my God, you know, why are all these bands missing out on these opportunities? Or the flip side of that is, that shit don't sell, and that's why no one's doing it.
Maybe, but how would you know if you never try?
Well, if you go on to places like Backstreet Merch, and look at Mastodon, you can find Mastodon have got pretty much anything with their logo on, including bongs, you name it. But again, I think, you know, that's still not stuff that they're going to be dragging around on tour, because breakages, too heavy, you know, takes up space, and ultimately, you know, we live in a world where people want shirts, people want merch, and yeah, you know, if we did acid rain oven gloves, or we did, you know, acid rain condoms, or an acid rain shower curtain, yeah, I'm sure some people would buy them, but they're just not going to be a big selling item. So,
well, no, but it's just another thing that you, especially when you got a different price point, that somebody who will go, you know, I don't like that, don't like that, don't like that. Oh, but look at that. You know, I find that all the time. I go to a merch booth for a band on tour, and I'm like, you know, you got 4 different black T-shirts. What am I going to do with that? You know, especially if 3 of them have got curse words on it. You know, even if I do love it, I can't wear it outside. You know, it's just not going to happen. I'm not that demographic. What can I tell you? So, like, but then there's other stuff that I never see anybody ever sell, and I go, now that's interesting. You know, like, even I love it when I see bands, you know, they break a drum head, they autograph it and put it up in the merch booth. Fantastic. Drumsticks, you know, stuff like that. Used crap. Well, you know, that stuff is awesome.
Well, let me tell you. I can't remember who it was I was interviewing. I really can't, but it was fairly recent. Oh shit! I think it might have been Bobby Blitz actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was Bobby. No, it was Eric A.K. from Flotsam and Jetsam, and he said when they on that tour, one of Flotsam and Jetsam autographed a cold slice of pizza and put it on the merch stall, and they sold it for the fucking €5.
Oh, totally, yeah. I mean, why not? You know,
autographed piece of cold pizza, autographed on the, you know, obviously on the underside. It's like,
that's fantastic.
I know, and what gets me is that some dickhead has bought that, and like, you know, a week later realizes the fallacy of his purchase, when it's just basically a big lump of mold, this big hairy triangle of what used to be pizza.
But it's not about the thing. It's about the story of the thing. Here we are, talking about it. However many months ago that happened. I mean, people buy, shirts all the time, but to be the guy who bought the cold slice of pizza, people are still talking about that. Like strangers are talking about that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's well, I guess like you say, strangers are talking about it. Yeah, and you can't get stranger than you and I. But yeah, it's yeah. I mean, we're not going to be selling slices of pizza. I can tell you that much.
But I think it would be cool, especially, I mean, just as an exercise, for bands to have at least one sort of strange thing all the time in the merch booth, just to see what happens,
Well, I'm you've certainly got the cogs turning, and it actually reminds me of back in the day when we toured with Exodus on the Fabulous Disaster tour, and I think it was in Birmingham. We found in an alleyway, a cardboard box. A cardboard box had been slung into a skip, and I think we'd thrown some rubbish in the skip, and somebody had seen this box, climbed into the skip, got it out, and it was a cardboard box full of little 10-page brochures, black and white, and it was just full of Madonna in the nude from her modelling days before she was a pop star, full on 70s bush, the lot, right? And it was just basically a 10-page booklet of Madonna in the nude. So we put them on the merch stall and we sold them, and we probably made more money from those than we did from merch on that tour. So I mean, maybe we just need to find a box of naked pictures of another major iconic pop star, and you'll get your wish. There'll be something odd on the merch stall.
Oh, you should have the acid rain hydrochloric acid bottles. You should be on tour. You want to lug around something that's
acid rain test tubes. Acid rain test tubes.
Yeah, acid rain test tubes.
Yeah, absolutely. Be like, yeah, are you thinking of going down the IVF route? Why not shoot a load in an acid rain test tube?
Oh man, I'll tell you what, if you guys tour the U.S., my suggestion would be that you bring around acid rain pharmaceuticals, because whatever you sell it for is going to be a hell of a lot cheaper than we're going to pay for it here.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, if we play North America, there will be one very special product on the merch desk, and that will be the acid rain Kevlar mass shooting vest.
That'd be so great.
Yeah. Whenever you go to a major event, make sure you wear your acid rain Kevlar vest. You never know which mentally unstable person has been able to walk into a supermarket and buy a gun today.
Please tell me you're going to price that out when we're done.
Oh dear, yeah, the acid rain Kevlar vest for mass shootings and other such events. Bloody hell. Oh man, look, there's a few things I want to talk to you off mic, so I'm gonna knock this on the head. This has been great, and has accidentally ended up being you interviewing me about acid rain, but it's cool. And let's have a proper chat now. But thanks for that, Godless. I really appreciate it, mate.
It's so great being here. Thanks so much, H.